Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. I did that over 20 years ago. I was a divorce mediator, and thank God you might say I saw the light. I used to think divorce was okay, and I thought that having problems in marriage was normal, acceptable, and okay. And a young couple asked me to save their marriage instead of helping them get a divorce. And boy, did I discover a lot of things, because I don't have a psych background. Someone asked me that recently. Are you a licensed psychologist? Hell no. And I don't want to be. I don't want to have anything to do with Western psychology. I think it's ancient history. I don't think it's useful, especially not for marriage. Marriage is a very spiritual kind of thing. It's based on love. What's more spiritual than love? And you know, if you ask a therapist, or even if you look it up, even if you Google up and you go, what is love? They'll go, an increased like, a deep emotion, but it's way more than that, and you know that. It's all encompassing, because we're souls. And so, as a soul, we are love, we're joy. And when we get married to our soulmate, we're supposed to experience love and joy in this world that is tough. We have a sacred space, a special place. And now you're complaining. The person who wrote in said, my wife isn't showing me affection anymore. What's going on? And I'll tell you what's going on. It's not your fault, per se. You see, we're not educated properly about how to connect at that highest level of love. And so women and men are very different. And we have very different views based on our physiology, which affects our psychology. There's even a word for it, psychophysiological. And so we don't know how to appeal to our wives in ways that get them to want to show affection. And naturally, they do. That's the great irony. Naturally, a woman is all about showing affection. But as men, we have no idea. Now, I can't obviously give you all the information. I'll give you hints in a video. You should read my books, or you should get the course for men. But there's a whole education around this. In a nutshell, it's like this. You know, men think about sex and affection based on what they learn on television and watching movies. And it's incorrect. That Hollywood version is learned by people who are into pornography. So they don't get the connection between the heart and affection. And there's this big dividing point between true affection from the heart and sexuality. And it's all mixed up. So you got to learn how that works. In a nutshell, if you want your wife to show her affection, she has to be 100% safe in your marriage. She cannot be wondering ever whether you love her or not. And telling her you love her doesn't mean diddly. Doesn't mean anything. You have to learn how to love from your heart in a way where she understands. And you have to take full responsibility for it. Now, I get men, when I talk like this in the videos, they go, oh man, you are really out of touch and blah, blah, blah. But they're the ones searching for answers. They tell me I'm out of touch, and I'm not. I'm not. I understand this stuff. Here's the crux of it. We can live, and we do live, on 3 different levels. Our primal selves is driven by our body, our biology, and it's so self-centered, it's so selfish. It's all me, 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 me. And the people who completely live there are psychopaths, and hopefully they're all in prison. And then there's the mundane life, where we have evolved to a point and we have a moral compass, and we apply that to our selfishness so that we become more balanced in our behavior. But then there's that highest level of life where you live on the plane of love. And you can't really do that in the world. There are saints who have shown how you can, but us mortal people, we need to be very careful. And that's why God gave us, yes, I said God gave us marriage, because in a marriage, you've promised your love and your loyalty to each other. It's safe, as long as you keep it safe. And that's where it's at. So if you want your wife to start showing affection, you have to recreate your marriage into what it's meant to be. And then I guarantee you, she will show affection, and you'll be blown away at how much affection she shows. It's like living in paradise when you do it correctly. And yes, there's a correctly and there's an incorrectly, and it's sort of like correctly means you don't put water in your gas tank. See, a lot of guys think, well, I'm doing mostly good. It isn't like that. You got to do it all right. So you got to learn how, and then you apply, learn and apply. I'm Paul Friedman. You should definitely subscribe to this channel so you could learn more about marriage. You should definitely get one of my books. And maybe, if you really want to take your marriage to the highest level, get the course for men. It'll change everything. God bless you. Thank you for spending time with me. Take care.